All right. Just let me make sure everything's all good. Hopefully we're not too far away. I still don't see my stream. Come on, where are you? There it is. And I can hear my voice as well, so the audio is good. Okay. So the stream's up and the chat's up, and we're all good to go. Cool, fantastic. Hello everyone, and welcome to round 2 of the F5 Championship here on PSGL. I am K1997, your commentator for this race, and this time we are racing at the historic Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps for the Belgian Grand Prix, which broke ground in 1921, has been the home to Formula 1 Grand Prix racing ever since its existence, intermittently from 1925 to 1970, and from 83 to today, of course. The Belgian Grand Prix, of course, is one of the most demanding events on the modern Formula 1 calendar. It is this track, Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps, is the longest racetrack on the modern F1 calendar as well, with a total distance of 4.352 miles. There are two DRS zones that lead down the main straightaway towards La Source, turn 1, and where Josie Boy is coming towards right now, at the Kemmel Straight towards the Lacombe chicane. It's very demanding, very technical, and very fast as well here at Spa. You got to be on your toes everywhere you go. That's not a good start. Noseki has been disqualified for blocking the pit lane. That's going to mean that he'll have to start from the very back of the grid, unfortunately for that. But yeah, it's a very demanding racetrack with the Eau Rouge Raidillon complex, the uphill section of the racetrack, with also the tight technical section of the middle sector. Particularly, though, drivers will have to be mindful of this corner here, Pool, on the fast sweeping left-hander of turn number 10. Very fast, very demanding. You don't want to touch the inside curve as well. Otherwise the car will spin you out. And then, of course, there are a few areas you can overtake, at least. I would probably say at least the run down the Kemmel Straights. You can do some areas in the middle sector, and maybe if you are very ballsy, you can try the bus stop chicane of turns 19 and 20. Now that we've gotten that little introduction out of the way, we'll go over a little bit of news that went on from last week's race at Australia. There were two noticeable incidents that were paid attention to by the stewards, and they were penalty removals. One from Oscar and Boomsha. Oscar got his 3-second time penalty removed. Remember, he crossed the line first, but got demoted thanks to penalties. He managed to get his 3 seconds removed. Boomsha had a 6-second penalty that demoted him to P7. He's now been brought back up to P2. So in the final results of that, P1 went to Oscar, P2 went to Boomsha, and Danko, who was initially the race winner, was actually the one that finishes in third. So in the Drivers' Championship currently, it is Oscar that leads the way on 16 points, followed by Boomsha in second with with 12 points. Danko is third on 10 points, followed by Felix in fourth with 8. Then it's Seb that rounds out the top 5 with 6 points. Teams Championship, McLaren leading the way on 16 points, followed by Alfa Romeo in second with 13. Mercedes on third with 12, Haas in fourth with 10, and AlphaTauri rounds it all off with 6 points. That's it in terms of news. We will now focus here on qualifying. No SJ today, unfortunately. He is out due to some business that he has to attend, so he'll be back next week. So I will be taking solo for this contest. And I think everyone's on soft compound tires as well. That's good to see. First time on the board has come on here. Felix has done a 1:41.666. As Josie Boy will start his final lap again. Let's throw a board with him. As actually, no, he's out of field. You know what? He might not be able to finish his lap, I reckon. So I'll leave that out. Leonardo backed out of his lap. He's just let an Alfa Romeo through. That is Nassam and the other Alfa. As Oscar puts the very first time of a 1:40.904, the very first driver already to get into the 140 range, as Nassam now goes to P2 with a 1:41.1. That is very, very fast. Already at the start of qualifying, we're already into the 1:40s. Leo Harris goes to P2 with a 1:41.1, as we got more times coming on the board as well. That was Daryl with a 1:41.190. Napple goes to P5 with a 1:41.257. Next crossover will be, I believe, a Merc. I believe a Boomch. It was actually starting again on his flying lap. He might not be on a more representable lap, considering that he is also 30% battery. As I think that was, who was that just came across the line? That was Seb in the AlphaTauri, 1:41.6. Kane Conway a little bit ago just did a 1:41.5. So we're already pretty close here in qualifying, in this first stage of the qualifying, but Oscar already saying the benchmark there with a 40.9. That's very, very, very fast. Already got fast times on the board. Danny Van Rooten as well went to P2 with a 1:41 flat. About a little over a tenth behind Oscar. Just a little over a tenth. Lakitu has invalidated his lap time. Boomsh, I think he's invalidated his lap again. Alright, so I think the driver we can probably try to do it with is Billy in the Red Bull. So we'll run along with Billy, and he'll give us a proper lap guide here around Spa. And we'll get ready to get going soon. He's just trying to get out of the way of a McLaren, also warm up his tires. Makes the long turn of the final corner just to get a good exit. Down the main straightaway, up towards the first corner with the DRS wide open. And here towards turn 1 of Las Soras. Down to third gear, clips the inside apex as best he could, which he did very nicely. Up towards now the old pitch straight, and then into Eau Rouge and Radion, all flat out to the sequence of corners around this uphill section. Open the DRS lane up towards the Kemmel Straight, and then into the Lacombe chicane. And then just breaking just before the 50-meter board down to fourth gear, getting through the corners there very nicely. Around turn 7, up towards turn 8. This negative cambered corner that you want to hog the inside as best you can. You don't want to have a lockup going to that corner. Around turn 9 of No Name, 5th gear. Use the outside curve there as he went onto the entry. Up towards now turn 10 of Pouon. Very fast sweeping left. You don't want to hit the outside curve, otherwise your lap will be invalidated. He didn't do exactly that. He got through that relatively okay. Up towards now the Fania chicane of 11 and 12, and then into turn 13 and into Stavolo of turns 14 and 15. Now heading up towards Blanchimont, flat out once again. I think I said 20 corners, it's 18 corners, silly me. Up towards Blanchimont, turn 16, flat out left-hander. It's not flat on the wet though, so that's something you got to keep in mind. Up towards the bus stop chicane, braking just before 100 meters, down to third gear, around turn 17 and 18. Gets through there very nicely. Opens the DRS, he'll cross the line just at a 1:41.108. Solid lap indeed from Billy. That puts him into P3. See here, Leonardo, currently purple to the first sector according to the minimap. Also, according to the minimap, it says, to the telemetry, is also close to being out to fuel as well. Around No Name of turn 9, up towards now turn 10 of Puon. Let's see. Does lifts, but just for a brief moment. That's just so he can get the front of the car pointing into the inside as best he could without having to understeer very much. Through the second chicane, Fania, he's got a bit of traffic though to negotiate. There's two Alphas in front. Thankfully, they get out of his way. Good job there by one of the Alphas and the other Alpha Romeo. He does acknowledge that. More traffic though, still in front of an Aston Martin. He gets out of the way. Good job. And the McLaren also gonna get out of the way. Good job by him as well. Leonardo heading up towards the bus stop. Second gear, short shifting up to third on the exit. Opens DRS, crosses the line. It's up to P3 with a 1 minute 41.014. Meanwhile, Oscar, a current pole sitter, is making his way up towards Eau Rouge and Radion as we speak. Right along with Oscar, see what he can provide. Up through the Eau Rouge Radion complex, opens the DRS, heading down the Camel Straight towards the Lake Colm chicane. The clock says for Oscar, he's down by 4 thousandths, not by much. He still has a bit more time he can't find. First turn 7 up towards turn 8, down to fourth gear, then down to third as he went around the mid-apex of turn 8, through turn 9, up towards turn 10. Let's see what he does here. He does lift as well, but only like maybe about 20%. Unlike what I saw from Leonardo, who did it by doing a full lift. But he got enough rotation to get around the corner as best he could. What will the clock say for Oscar? He's up by 0.2 of a second. So with that improvement, he's definitely looking to get somewhere into the 1 minute 40.7 range. Up towards Blanchimont. Apex speed of about 197 miles per hour as he now heads up towards the chicane, the bus stop chicane. One more corner to negotiate for Oscar. Opens DRS, crosses the line, does make an improvement by just about 2 3/4 of a tenth of a second with a 1 minute 40.630. Danny Van Ritchie, meanwhile, up by just 1,000. And I think someone just came across the line. I think that might have been Josie Boy with a 1 minute 41.1. Not times yet to be set on the board. At least Nick has set still lap time. Same with Akita, who's, speaking of which, goes back into the pits. They've got about little over 5.5 minutes to go here in this quality session. Felix, I think, has improved there to 1 minute 41.2. He currently sits in P11. And Napple now has finally got his first time on the board as well with a 40.7. Kane Conway does a 41. I like this one. A 1 minute 41.000. Exactly. Well done. Danny Van Rooten also improved on his lap. 1 minute 40.666. I love the 666 time. I've actually just noticed here today. So currently, top 14, as we speak, are separated by just about less than a second. And it's about over a tenth separating the top 3. And 14,000 separating the top, well, I was going to say from 5th to 6th. Seb has now gone into the top 5 with a 40.9. Boomsha just did a 41.1. Alright, so I think we might be on a bit of a lull period here. So that means just everyone will be getting back to the pits very shortly, or they'll be coming out in the later stages of qualifying. Yeah, look. Yeah, the times are just ridiculously close. Like any race in PSGL I've watched, we've seen times that are just ridiculously fast. Doesn't even matter what tier it is. It's like everyone's always not just fast, but they're also very close. I do respect that. Turn around field. So yeah, we are in a bit of a lull period. Just waiting for everyone to get back into the pits. Seb is another driver that's trying to run out of field. Oh, I think with that much time on the clock, 3 minutes and 21 seconds, he needs to get out of the pits by about a minute 40. If he doesn't, well, that's it for qualifying. Yeah, the bad news is for him is that the AlphaTauri pit lane is also at the far end of the pits. So, one of the pit boxes are at the far end. So, he might be a bit screwed. Alright, we've already got now 3 drivers out. Make that 5. I didn't see the other ones in front of this little group. That being a Ferrari and a McLaren, that might be Daniel and Nick. Hopefully no one gets a grid penalty. Remember to keep your distance. You don't want to, we don't really necessarily want to get into another lobby restart. Although, if I remember correctly, though, the lobby restart wasn't because of, yep, Steph's retired. So, yeah, he knows that that's it for his qualifying. I was going to say from last week, the reason we had a lobby restart was because of the coordinator, Felix, didn't have it on the correct day. He had it on midday rather than realistic. Yeah, it wasn't because of a grid penalty. I think we had one that quality session last week. I can't remember exactly who it was, but yeah, I do remember that. Alright, so out of everyone in this group, it's looking like Daniel will be the first one to start up his final lap. And I think he's about to get going as well. Yep, about a minute and a half to go in qualifying. So this will be everybody's final flying laps. Making his way around the bus stop. Back onto the main straight. And I've just put the commentator's curse. Yep, we're going to do a lobby restart. Billy's just got a 5-place grid penalty for illegal blocking. Daniel heading through turn 1. Missing the apex just a little bit though at turn 1. Up towards now the Eau Rouge Radion complex of turns 2, 3, and 4. Up and over the hill. Opens the RS, heading down the Camel straight. And we'll see what the clock will say for Daniel as he heads up to the first sector. Clock says for him, he's down by 11 thousandths. I think that's not a surprise to me considering how much of the apex he did miss. Nick up to the first sector. Hold on a second, I got a phone call. Politicians. Yeah, no thank you. Sorry about that. Anyway, though, as I'm just watching on board with Nick, he's about to finish his lap as well. Daniel will cross the line. What will it be? It's a 41.1 for Nick. Nick will cross the line next, and he's got an Alfa Romeo behind of Nassim, who's up by just nearly 0.3 of a second. As Nick goes to P3 with a 1 minute 40.7. Nassim only goes to P5, 1 minute 40.771. Alpine will next across the line. That will be Leonardo, who has invalidated his lap time, and same with his teammate, so they will not have their laps counted. Billy is up by about a 1/10.5 to the middle sector. He'll cross the line next. It's a 40.7. It's 0.3 improvement up to P6 as Josie Boy goes to P7. Napple will be the next to cross the line very shortly. Let's see what he can do as he crosses the line. Will it be a big improvement? No, it will not be. Danny Van Rooten is down by 14 thousandths, but he's not out of this yet. He's coming up to the end of his lap, around Blonshamont, up towards the final bus stop chicane. Leo Harris is retired from the session, as the Aston Martin, I think, has just improved there of Lakitu with a 40.0. Danny Van Rooten, can he improve? No, he cannot. He stays P2. And I think with that, that's it. Qualifying over. It is going to be Oscar on pole position with a 1 minute 40.630. Could not improve on his second attempt, so he stays exactly that. Same with Danny Van Rooten. But Nick, for the last gas effort of qualifying, puts his car up to P3. A solid lap from him. Napple P4, Nassen P5, Billy though P6, but I think we are going to have to do a lobby restart because of that grid penalty. Josie Boy, Seb, Conway, Leonardo, Lakitu, Boomsh, Leo Aris, Daniel, Felix, Cherna, Foley, and Naseki, who got disqualified, but that was because of blocking the pit lane exit. Oh boy. We've got rain here at Spa. That's not a surprise to see. I think it's intermediate conditions from what it looks like because of the intermediate tires in the Red Bull garage. Alright, so Felix is given the instruction to pretty much just don't leave the lobby. Everyone has to retire. If you're all watching that, yeah, please do so. Just follow his instructions. But yeah, sorry for missing a bit of qualifying there. I mean, I know that might have been awkward not having my voice around for like a good few seconds. Alright, so this will not be like the official start. This is just going... Yeah, of course. And chaos everywhere that happens here at turn 1, and we've got a safety car that's been deployed. Oh god! Oh my goodness! The AlphaTauri just did a Leclerc sort of incident there. That's turn 1. You remember how Leclerc went over to the back of Alonso's... Oh goodness me. You know, it would have been perfect if it was 1998, considering all the confetti of carbon fiber. No, it was, well, there's the safety car. No, it was when Leclerc went over the top of Fernando Alonso's McLaren. Oh, I think that was it? Oh, no, it was the other way around. It was Alonso that went over the top of Leclerc's car. I think it was initiated by Hulkenberg, if I remember correctly, in 2018. Yeah, turn 1 of Las Sources has had a couple of moments of very scary accidents. 2018 and 2012. Oh, look at that. Napple won, and he did a lap time of 51 seconds. Well done, good sir. But yeah, no, it was 2018, and then 2012. Yeah, we had that incident that involved Roman Grosjean causing a massive pileup that eventually got him a race ban for the next race at Monza, where he hit the He hit the back of Lewis's car that initiated Lewis to go into Fernando Alonso, Sergio Perez. Yeah, all of them got involved in that incident. It was a very frightening accident, I remember. Alonso nearly got his head chopped off, I remember, by Grosjean's flying Lotus. Probably another thing I remember that whole race as well. was how Pastor Maldonado, the great Pastor Maldonado, got the best start I probably would say anyone has ever gotten in that race. But nobody beats the start of what Mahavir Raghunathan did back in the 2017 Monaco Grand Prix in F2. I think it was during the feature race. Okay, so yeah, we're just waiting on getting the whole lobby sorted out. So there is rain. It looks like going to be in the entire race. So I think that's what it'll be. Cause yeah, I don't know if there's any other changes involved in that. I don't know if we are going to go to dry or if it stays to the wet weather conditions. Yeah, and also, not to mention we've got, what? We got now the real life F1 coming back. That'll be good to see. Get started at the Bahrain Grand Prix this weekend. After doing testing, yeah. I guess my initial thoughts coming into that after testing, I probably would say, what, maybe that Red Bull looked really strong, but Ferrari looked like they've gotten better since last season, I'd say. They were quickest in the last 2 days of testing. Yeah, I know Max was the quickest in day 1. Mercedes, they look alright. I don't know if they're gonna be like as competitive though as Ferrari and Red Bull. I probably will say though, for McLaren, what, maybe they'll probably be like in the midfield, but I think they'll get better towards the end of the season like they did last year. Well, not like what they did last year where they started at the bottom and then they worked their way up towards the top. That car was so bad at the start. But, yeah, Aston Martin, I probably would expect them to... Okay, we're about to get going. Aston Martin, I probably would say they're not going to be as good as McLaren, but we'll wait and see on that one. Sauber, I probably expect them to be where they are. Williams, though, I think is going to be an improvement. The RB car, I think is going to be a big improvement as well, considering it's just parts that they're using from that RB19. So yeah, I expect that car to be quite a big time midfield car. Haas, well, they're just Haas. They're just going to be at the bottom. But I have been hearing rumors, this is just only rumors, but I've been hearing that Alpine might be the worst team on the grid. I've been hearing that I guess they have it say that the car is too draggy, too overweight, etc. Whether that's true or not, that is to be determined. Yeah, if Alpine do go that much backwards, so they're in big, big trouble. I also will say, too, speaking of Alpine, I will say, though, their car is really the worst car ever on the grid. I think literally it's the worst car I've ever seen in F1. As far as modern F1. It looks terrible. Just looks like a 5-year-old just splatted pink and blue paint on carbon fiber. And just didn't finish it. That's really what it is to me. I'm not sure if they're gonna use I can't remember if they're using the pink car like they did last year for like the first couple of races, or if they're just gonna stick with the original car. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure on that. All right, well, everyone's just all getting their setups, everything ready to go. So that really gives them a big opportunity for that. Not only that, but for the race itself, they'll have fresher, drier tires, of course. Fresher, slick tires. Well, according to the weather report that Felix put in the Discord, it's supposed to rain for at least a little while until the end of the race. Whether that bit will be true will be to be determined. If we do get it dry enough to go from the intermediates onto the slicks. Yeah, everyone's going to have to get through this as best as I possibly can, because, yeah, going through Eau Rouge and Radion in these sort of conditions is quite scary. Especially in the wet as well, what if you get to wet weather conditions. Alright, here we go. 5 red lights for the Belgian Grand Prix. It's lights out, away we go. That's very quick. Well, lights out. A little bit of a skirmish there from Nassim in the midfield there as they make their way through La Source into turn 1. Trying to get through as best they can. It goes the rest of the field. Not through by everybody, though. Spinning is the Alpine there of Leo Aris. He gets caught up in an incident there on lap 1 as they make their way up through Eau Rouge and Radion for the first time in these sort of conditions. Danny Van Rooten behind Oscar. Nick behind Danny Van Rooten in 3rd. Napple in 4th. Nassim has dropped down a place, I believe, in 5th. That's Billy. Josie boys. They make their way. 3 abreast as we go into turn 5. Dearie me. What on earth was going on there? That was the McLaren there, Daniel, who was in a skirmish with Booms. I think that was also Leonardo and Lakitu that got involved in that 3 wide little bit there at Lacombe. Seb and Josie boy having a bit of an exchange. Seb gets by. Oh, it's still wheel to wheel there between the McLaren and the Mercedes as they make their way up towards Pouan. Oh, you don't want to go side by side through here. Someone's going to have to give. Oh, it was going to be the Mercedes, but he goes for the switchback. He gets in front of Daniel. Surprisingly, no one has really lost out big time apart from Leo. That's the only driver that really got lost out. Top 2 are breaking away. 1.2 seconds already separate between Danny Van Rooten and Nick as they make their way up towards Blanchimont. Now look at the spray coming off the cars as they make their way around Blanchimont to complete lap 1 of 22 here. We're going to have a long way to go here in this race. Leonardo overtakes Lakitu around the outside in the bus stop chicane. Oscar leads the way by 0.6 of a second. Leonardo on the inside up towards turn 1. The Saudi gets in front. He's trying to... Oh, that's a squeeze there from Daniel, who tried to get by Boom, but Boom said, no, I'm not letting you through. He's now side by side with the Aston Martin. You got to lift. Someone has to. Oh, it ended up being the Aston Martin. Smart thinking there. Yeah, no way you could go side by side in these sort of conditions. You have to have balls of steel to do so. Leonardo, 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. The first driver to get, and that's for corner cut actually, not for multiple warnings. I'm sorry. So he must have cut the Lacombe chicane is what's happened. Leonardo, Caden. That was an exchange there. That happened already there. Now Caden's involved in the battle with Boom as they make their way up towards Pouan. The Mercedes on the inside. Asso has the more advantage of the corner there. They're still wheel to wheel through this bit. How on earth are you going side by side through that? They're still wheel to wheel as they make their way through the chicane. The Fania chicane. Contact, slight contact. Mercedes gets through. How on earth did they go side by side through there in these sort of conditions? That's fair respect. That's respectful driving. Around Blanchimont, up towards the bus stop chicane. Napple right behind Nick. Danny Van Rooten still behind the McLaren of Oscar. They're looking like they are kind of the two drivers to beat, really, in these conditions. As Van Rooten sets the fastest lap of the race with a 1 minute 54.2. Oh, that's a bit of contact. I think they're from Nassam in the Sauber. Oh, that's right. I forgot on the guidelines. He was supposed to call it a Sauber, not an Alfa Romeo. Lakitu overtaking Daniel here. Down towards the old pit straight. They're still side by side. You cannot do it through here. Oh my goodness. He's going to try to go around him around the outside. He gets the move done. Wow, that's unbelievable. As Oscar gets overtaken by Dave Van Rooten. How on earth did these two go side by side through that? Incredible driving. Incredible drive from Lakitu. As Felix will try to get by Cherno here down the inside at turn 7. He gets by, not quite. Up towards turn 8. Busha overtakes Leonardo. They're still battling away. Daniel overtakes Lakitu. Niseki, after starting from last, is up to, well, 16th place. Only gained up to about 2 spots. Caden and Leonardo again, side by side. Conway gets in front. Does the Irishman. Daniel spun. And, well, that's a reset to track. That's a no-no. That's going to be a virtual safety car, I think. Yes, it is. Yep, virtual safety car has been deployed. Did he get damaged or what? Or, oh, yeah, he's got no front wing after the spin, so yeah, he'll have to get back into the pit to get it fixed. Well, now the drivers have got to keep their eyes glued to the Delta. You don't want to have to serve a drive-through penalty here. Yeah, so far, it looks like the only person that's gone into pit lane is Daniel. No other damage from what I can see. And now we're back at the green as well. Just seen that. So we're back at the green flag conditions as Billy overtakes Nassen. That was quite quick, actually, that VSC. Caught me a little bit off guard. And also, apparently, it's now kind of brought Nick... Oh, I was going to say it was going to bring him into the mix. He was about under a second behind, and now he's 1.4 behind. But he's got a Williams of Napple right behind his gearbox. Where the Puon to Puon. So far, everyone doing all right. Maybe a bit of a moment there from Leonardo. He might have gone a little bit wide there. That might have been a warning, I think. Top two, meanwhile, still close to one another. 3/10 the margin separated between Oscar and Danny Van Rooten. McLaren getting a good slipstream from the Mercedes in front of him. Might line up a pass here to turn 17. He doesn't do anything there. Oh, that's a bit of a rear lockup, I think, there from Danny. Up towards the source. Yeah, can't do anything there. He's not close enough to make any sort of move. Napple, though, trying to get by Nick. He's trying to stuff behind the Ferrari. The Williams are looking a little bit racy, but so does the others behind him, of course. In this 4-car train. Akio takes Leo Harris. No battery on the Williams, but he's got slipstream as Oscar overtakes Danny Van Rooten for the lead. Gets by him there at Lacombe. Very good job there from Danny Van Rooten. Oh! That could have ended disastrously. That thing was completely sideways, almost like a shopping trolley. Yeah, that back end was all sideways there for that McLaren. Here's a bit of your battery situation you like to see. Top two have got all the battery in the world to play with. That just shows really how much pace they've really got. Felix overtaking Leonardo. Oh, no, he is not overtaking Leonardo. In fact, he's being spun by Leonardo. Thank goodness the ghosting system kicked in. Yeah, he rejoins. I'll actually get rid of the telemetry because I think that was also in the guidelines not to have that on. Meanwhile, though, Billy has overtaken Napple. Napple trying to hold his ground, goes off the track, rejoins, safely at least. Up towards now the bus stop chicane. Can the Rebel find a way through against the Williams? No, he does not. Boosha though overtakes Josie Boy, that is for P8. As Caden Conway goes into the pits. Wonder if it's for damage, I guess. I don't know. I think it's quite early to do a pit stop. Take a look real quick and see. I see Lakito's in as well. Yep, new front wing, new nose cone for Lakito. Lakito and Caden Conway. Billy overtaking Napple there. That's down the Kemble straight. Oh, the Sauber, they're getting so close there. Nassam, who also gets a 3-second penalty. He can't save the car. Oh. He did everything he could, but unfortunately the spin, well, has cost him places. He's now down to 11th, make that 12th, as he got in the battle there between Naseki and Leonardo. Oh, that's contact. More contact. Hello there. That's also fully involved. Oh, jeez. Very close contact. Side by side up towards Fuon. Someone has to give up. That's going to be the AlphaTauri. As now we've got more yellow flags. That is for the other for the other Sauber of Felix. And through goes Nassam again. Yellows. Felix out of the race. Crashed out of the outside of Puon. We've got a safety car. Head first into the tire barrier there on the outside of Puon. Has now resulted in our first safety car of the race. The driver's pitting on to a new set of intermediate tires. I think for everybody. I'll make sure of that. Yep, intermediates for anybody coming into the pits. Nassam deciding to stay out after the spin that he had. Yeah, top four didn't pit, but that's because they were in the pit straight once the safety car came out. They were fortunate, though, for their sake, I think, that the safety car was not ahead of them as they came out of the pits. I probably would imagine the top four will go in for new inters. Yeah, from about pretty much 8th onwards has pitted for new intermediate tires. Good news though as well for Lakitu and for Daniel is that they can catch back up. Same with Caden Conway. They can catch back up to the pack after sustaining damage on the opening laps. Alright, let's see what the top four will do. I'm sure they'll pit. They're just about to approach the pit lane here. Probably one of the dumbest pit lanes, I would say, as well. Mainly the pit entrance, because it's got a bit of a bump and then a bit of an awkwardness to get in. If everyone's coming in top four, not surprised. Yep, I see intermediates for everyone that's coming to the pits. On going the grey tires and away everyone goes out of the pit stalls. As NASA and Foley go into the pits. So where will Napple come out of all this here? Oh, he's actually gonna come out ahead of Nick. All right, interesting. Yeah, NASA and Foley also pitting for new intermediate tires. They'll come back out on the racetrack shortly. They'll probably come out just ahead of Leo Harris. Alright, so I think everyone should be able to catch back up now. So I think we should be able to get the safety car back in this race. Back in this lap. Sorry, I should say. In terms of the weather, though, it pretty much hasn't really increased or whatever the case may be. It's been pretty steady. Yeah, no reason to go into the wets. I don't see any puddles. It's just the track looks very shiny and everything. Still can see the spray obviously coming off the cars. Alright, safety car is in this lap. So Oscar will now be the de facto safety car. And we'll get back under green flag conditions once more. Goodbye Aston Martin safety car. And hello to the rest of the field. Will there be a different story here because the top two were pretty much the class of the field for a little bit. Yeah, everyone else couldn't catch them, but we'll wait and see. Maybe we'll see if it's a different story. Oscar taking his time, waiting to go. I think he's going. Yep, we're back under green here at Spa. He'll complete lap 8 and we'll move on to lap number 9 here at this Belgian Grand Prix. It's Oscar that leads for the moment. Everyone getting through a line of stern as best they can. No sudden movements here. Billy though, Billy trying to catch up to Nick as Nick is losing a bit of ground to the top 3. So it does seem like it's going to be more of a top 3 fight. What it looks like as Daniel gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. He must have done that at Rouge and Radion. Leonardo overtaking Scherto around the outside before Lacombe. He gets the move done there into turn 5. Very good job there by the Alpine. Meanwhile up front though, yeah, you can see Nick is getting into a little bit of trouble. He needs to catch up a little bit here. Doesn't want to lose out to Napple. Doesn't want to lose out either to Danny Van Rooten and Oscar. They are slowly pulling away here. Through the second chicane, the Fania chicane. Yeah, it's a bit of more of a cleaner restart. I will give them that. Only move we had so far was Leonardo overtaking Cherno. But apart from that, it seems like everyone's gone through all right. Yellow's out again. Daniel has spun and resets the track. Well, no doubt that's a slam dunk penalty. You can't reset yourself the track unless you're in big trouble, like say you get stuck on the racetrack or somewhere on the curb on the racetrack. Yeah, can't do that. Sorry. Naseki and Nassim side by side, heading through the main straightaway towards the source. The Sauber will get in front, moves up into 11th place, trying to make up any ground after his little spin at Lacombe a couple of laps ago. Leonardo. Oh my goodness, look at the overspeed that Alpine's got. As Danny Van Rooten takes back the lead. Leonardo now takes P8 away from Josie Boy. Right now, so far, it's looking like a top 3 fight for the race lead, but actually, if you look at the gaps as well, Nick is under a second to Napple and Billy's under a second to Nick, so it could be actually now, maybe it could be moving towards now a top 5 fight for the race lead. So I'm trying to catch up as best he can. Boomsha right behind him, about over 7.5 tenths behind. Make their way through Fania chicane. Leonardo also has Josie Boy, Cherno, Nassim, Naseki. He's got a convoy pretty much right behind. That leads all the way down to about Caden Conway, as Lakita gets a 3-second time penalty there. That's for multiple warnings. The Dutchman trying to break away from the Norwegian here as best as he possibly can. Around the bus stop chicane. A little bit of a moment there from Danny Van Rooten as he sets the fast lap of the race with a 1:52.8. Yellow's out again. That's for Leo. I think he's at another moment this time at the bus stop chicane. Right now, currently sitting in 15th position. He's got Lakita behind him. Leonardo, another penalty for him. Multiple warnings. Just keeps racking up the penalties here. And the McLaren Cup. Oh my goodness, that McLaren's got some straight line speed and then some. He didn't even use the battery to do so. He literally just scooted on by. Oh, it's Apple. Oh, what's happened? Danny Van Rooten's dropped down. He's dropped down to about 4th place. What's happened to him? Oh, a bit of a moment. He must have had a moment at Lacombe is what I'm gonna guess. I couldn't tell. Tries to hang around the outside against Nick. Does so. Good driving there by both of them. Josie Boy and Leonardo. Oh, here comes also Cherno's in the mix. They're going to be almost side by side, the Red Bull and the Ferrari, making their way through Pouhon. The Red Bull gives in. That's awfully, awfully close. As Billy now overtakes Nick there, that is at the Fania chicane. He's on around the outside, I think. But yeah, whatever happened to Danny Van Rooten? He really lost quite a bit of time to not just Oscar, but also to Napple, who's now ahead of him in P2. Nick on the back of Billy up through the bus stop chicane. Back onto the main straight we begin. We are now on to lap 12 of 22. Jeez, this group is close here. This is for the Meyer points. That's Naseki, Cherno, Leonardo. Leonardo on the outside. Tries to outbrake the Red Bull. Instead he outbrakes himself. Daniel's out, he is retired in the pits, so that's now become our second retirement of the race. Not a great day for that McLaren driver. Oh, Foley! Moment there, going through the Lacombe chicane. He's now got the Alpine alongside him. I don't think he'll get by here. He'll have to stay behind the AlphaTauri. The yellow flags are just for Daniel's car just dawdling around the racetrack. As you can see on the mini-map, he's over at the first sector, which is over by where Origin Rayon is. Gap right now between the top two is 1.1 seconds. Make that 1.2 seconds. Down towards Blanchimont we go, 1.1. Can he close the gap just a little bit here? Used up a lot of resources, but Oscar though has got a little bit more resources compared to Napple. And Apple just needs to keep up but also maintain battery usage. You don't want to use up so much battery here. Could leave you quite vulnerable. Everyone seems to be selling up the gaps here, apart from really just this whole top 7 here. They're in a bit of a train. Van Ruden just seems like he hasn't really had the pace to get back up towards Napple. He doesn't have a great deal of battery either. He was saving a lot of battery in the early portion of the race when he was battling Oscar. Now it's a whole different story. He's now almost out of the battery. Oscar just minding his own business. He's doing a fairly good job. Right now leading the way. And keep in mind as well, if you remember what I said before in the reports, as Leo gets by Leonardo, I feel like Leonardo's really fallen back a little bit more than last time I saw. Can't call away 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. Oh, that's a moment there. Deary me. Napple goes extremely deep into the bus stop. That yellow flag was because of Caden Conway. What has happened to him? And what's going on with Josie Boy? He's lost like a couple of places there. Down the bus stop chicane as well. Side by side here. Foley and Naseki, sorry. Oh! Close there between the Red Bull and the AlphaTauri. 2 Red Bull cars. Caden Conway is retired in the pits. Apparently has had enough. Here goes the AlphaTauri overtaking the Red Bull there for P10. Yeah, Napple's big mistake cost him quite a lot of time to Oscar. Leonardo, another penalty there. Man, he is racking up the penalties. He's got 9 seconds worth of penalties. Actually, I should get rid of the tire graphic. I don't think we'll necessarily need that, because everyone is on fresher rubber. Nick, 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. That's not going to help him. That's all. He's now got cars, because he's got a couple cars behind him with no penalties, being Seven Boomsha. Danny Van Ritsen, not quite close enough. As into the pits goes Nick. Oh, Well, he's destroyed his front wing in the process and retires. Oh dear, well he got really upset. But that's it for his race, he's done. Alright, battle for P2 here. Naffel and Danny Van Rooten. Down towards Lacombe. Has Slipstream, has the battery a little bit. Boost to the right hand side. Can he outbrake him? Not quite. Naffel just shuts the door. Up towards now turn 8. Here go. Oh, that's contact! Big time contact, and through goes Billy. Or he almost went through. He got by one car, but he couldn't get by the other one. I thought he would have gone the pair of them. That definitely was contact. And because of that, Oscar's now got a bigger advantage. Danny Van Rooten could be in a bit of trouble to Billy though because of the amount of battery that he's got. He's got over about 50%. Billy just needs to keep up with him, at least being in his slipstream. Alright, we're on to lap 15 of 22. Still got a bit of ways to go here. This race is definitely not over yet. Make that lap 16 of 22, I take that back. But still got a long way to go. Oh! Oh, that's contact! Has that given Billy a bit of damage there with that mistake from Danny Van Rooten? Locking the rears there at turn 1. Up towards the Eau Rouge Radion complex. Down the Kemmel Straight. I don't think Danny Van Rooten can do anything about that. No, he cannot do a damn thing about it. That Red Bull just scoots on by. Up into P2. Meanwhile, side by side, Josie Boy and Leo Aris. Josie Boy gets in front. Even Josie Boy has been having himself a rough race. So Leonardo cuts the track, going off at Lacombe. But he joins right behind Lakitu. Although the gap between the top two is shrinking a little bit here. Oscar though does have a little bit of battery, a little bit more battery I should say, than the Red Bull of Billy. The Blanchimont. Can the Red Bull close up on the McLaren here? Well, further back here, Boomsha and Seb. These two have been close pretty much the entirety of this race. This is for the top 5 finish. Also got Nassim involved in this fight, but he's got a penalty. Oh, that's a real lockup as well from Foley. Big time real lockup. Down the Kemmel Straight. Not quite close enough. Boucher and Farley. Oh, he's trying. Good respectful racing though by both the Mercedes and the AlphaTauri. Boucher moves up to the top 5. Nassim though back into the mix. Like I said, he's got a penalty. But at least he's made a decent recovery after what happened to him in the first few laps. His little spin at Lacombe, who could have fought for a podium. but instead just fighting for at least a top 5. But that's, of course, unless these drivers can get better. Oh, he shoots it around the outside. That was commitment by the Sauber. Wow. Dude just sent it on the outside. What's a move that is. Brilliant move. Top 2, meanwhile, 1.8 seconds. Danny Van Rooten, though, has still managed to at least somewhat keep up with the Red Bull. McLaren, though, doing a decent job of keeping his pace. Oscar, though, trying to maintain the lead. Looking for 2 out of 2 after winning last week in Australia, thanks to getting his penalties removed. Let's see what he can do here. Get another one. Now, so overtaking Boom. That is for P5. Maybe he is that confident that he can actually try to break a gap. We'll wait and see. Needs to get about a 3-second gap. Here's the penalties if you want to look at it. Yeah. So he needs to get 3 seconds from Boom and Seb if he wants to finish in the top 5. But that is going to be a bit difficult to do. See what's going on further back, though. Josie Boy right on the back of Leo Aris. But unfortunately though for Leo, he's got a penalty. Boomsha now overtakes Nassam. There at Blanchimont. Yellows. Danny Van Rooten's gone into the pits. DRS is enabled. Oh! That's yellow flags from Leonardo. So what are they going on to? Tires. Soft tires. Soft tires. So Leonardo tried to gamble. So the rain has stopped. Yeah, so the rain has officially stopped. But I don't know if it's dry enough yet. Is the one problem I have. So Oscar pitted for softs. Danny Van Rooten pitted for softs. Leo stays out on the intermediates. Soft tires for Nassau. Softs for Seb and Boomsh. Cherno, Foley, Naseki, Josie Boylakidu, and also Leonardo. The track is dried. It's drying up. It is drying up. It's actually drying up very quickly. Has Billy and Napple been caught napping here a little bit? I honestly think they have. There's no more spray coming out of coming off the cars. You know, look at the grip difference, and we're back to being a battle between Danny Van Rooten and Oscar. Because the top 2 decided not to pit. Oh, that's side by side here. Boomsha and Nassau, wheel to wheel, locking wheels onto the grass as well goes the Mercedes. Around the outside, and he gets it done. Even with a bit of grass on his wheels. 14 seconds between Oscar and Napple, between Oscar and the Lear, and also Leonardo spun again. Man, he is having a rough race. All right, where will the I'm pretty sure he'll still maintain the lead. Napple's in as well. There is Oscar and Danny Van Rooten. They're coming down the main straight. Yeah, they have really been caught napping. Really have been caught napping here. Leo stays out. Really? He's going to continue on the intermediates. I don't know what his game plan is, but okay. Yeah, look at the gap now. Billy has got a 4-second deficit to himself and Danny Van Rooten. And I think we're now back to this being the battle for the race win between these two. It was going to be looking like that at the start. I think it's going to be looking like that at the finish. This Boucher overtakes Seb. That is for P6. Round no name up towards Pouon. 3.5 tenths is the margin between the top two. Oh, that's nearly a big mistake. Oh, that could have been costly there from Danny Van Rooten. Nearly losing it there at Pouon. He hit the curb, and the car almost went off on him. Yeah, if I were Leo, I would just go and pit. Like, seriously, you're not going to gain anything being on the intermediate tire. Leonardo, another penalty. My goodness, he is really, really having a bad day in the office here. Gap right now, 8 tenths, but the Mercedes of Danny Van Rooten still has DRS. Oscar sets the fastest lap of the race. Leo finally goes into the pits. Alright, what will go on here? I think P3 is settled. It's only a matter of what happens with everything else. Whether what happens for the top 5. Or what will happen for the race lead. Danny Van Rooten also is out of battery. Is flashing as well. Oscar still has a bit of battery, but he doesn't have much. Danny Van Rooten needs to keep up. Not lose that big time. He doesn't want to lose the clutches of DRS. The only way he'll get this move done, get the lead back, is if he can get a move down the Camel Straight towards the Lacombe, or try to find an opportunity somewhere at the bus stop on the final lap of the race. The gap right now is 4.5 tenths. It's close. It's very close. Oscar hasn't touched the battery. Neither has Danny Van Rooten. But he doesn't have much resources compared to the McLaren in front of him. That's his biggest problem. Goes deep on the brakes. Through the bus stop chicane. Gets really close to the back of that McLaren. He sets the fast lap of the race, and we're on to the final lap. Who's going to win it here in Belgium? Napple sets the fast lap of the race. A good exit there from Oscar. Up towards Eau Rouge and Radion. Mercedes will have DRS. Can he get a good run at the exit of the hill? Oscar's flashing as well. Up towards Lacombe. Can he get close? He will not get close enough. He gains about a tenth. The battle, though, is not over yet. Around turn 7, up towards turn 8. Seb also overtakes Boomsha for P5. It's 2.5 tenths, 3 tenths, 3.5 tenths, right about hovering there. They're both out of battery, they're both flashing. It's now all about just not making any sort of mistake. Up towards the second chicane we go. Oscar has been leading for the majority of this race, but he still needs to finish it off and beat out Danny Van Rooten. Oh, I think Danny might have missed the apex there. That might have cost him there. He's trying to dump whatever he's got left, but I don't think it'll be enough. Half a second separating the top 2 up towards the bus stop chicane. Oscar just needs to get by these 2 corners and he's got the win. He does do that. Oscar will take the checker flag. He will win the Belgian Grand Prix and take the fastest lap. It's 2 out of 2 for Oscar. Van Ruten P2, Billy P3, Napple P4. Seb actually claims fastest lap, so Oscar will not get the full complement of points. Boomsha P6, NASA P7. Shossi Boy will get P8 because of the penalties. Cherno gets P9, and Foley will get the last of the podium places. Naseki P11, Leo Aris P12, Lakita P13. Leonardo will claim P14. Cherno giving driver of the day. We'll take a look at what his progress was at the end of it all. But at the end of the race, it's Oscar that wins again here in F5. Wins another race. 2 out of 2 here in F5. One in Australia. Thanks to Stewart's reports, but this time it was off of pure pace. He wins here at Spa. Van Rutsen did all he could, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough. It was a close battle, though, between himself and Oscar. Billy, though, I'm sure will be happy with the P3 results. A solid effort from him. And there are the unofficial results, then, of this Belgian Grand Prix. Oscar will take victory here at Spa. Danny Van Rutsen, P2. Billy, P3. Napple, P4. Sep, P5. Boomsha, P6. NASA, P7. Josie Boy, P8, Cherno, P9, Foley, P10. Outside of that is Naseki, Leo Aris, Lakita, Leonardo. And then the DNFs for Nick, Ken Conway, Daniel, and Felix. Only one safety car, though, came out of this whole entire race, and that was only because of the crash from Felix. Yeah, Oscar and Danny Van Ruten started 1-2, finished 1-2. But yeah, Billy did an awesome job though. Jenna from 16th to 9th. Not a bad effort there. Getting 7 spots. Alright, and we'll see if they want to join, I guess. I'll invite the 3 of them if they want to join me. Just give me a sec. Alright, Oscar. Danny. I think he had like underscores. And hang on, let me look at your PSN again. That's weird, I don't see him. Yeah, maybe I gotta do it differently. Let me try this. If not, I'll just try to ask anyone in the party if they could do this such thing. Okay, that's very weird. I don't know why I can't see him. I typed out his name and everything. Okay, well, I'm probably just gonna have to ask one of them if they can maybe invite him. Yeah, I'll get Billy in here. Oh, for goodness sake. Really? No, I can't see his name? Oh, why do you do this to me? Goodness sake. I can't find Danny Van Rooten and I can't find um Billy for whatever reason. Alright. I'll see if I can get Oscar to help me if he gets in the chat. If he does get in here, that is. Yeah, I'll try again, see what I can do. Like, why can I not see their names? I don't think Oscar's joined either. Okay. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up then. Doesn't seem like anyone's keen. Well, to be fair though, I just, for whatever reason, my PS5 can't find Danny Van Ruin's name or Billy's. It only finds Oscar's. Yeah, I guess we'll wrap up the stream here. Yeah, sorry for the little bit of a pause. But, anyway, I have been K1997. Thank you very much for watching. We will see you back then for round 3 of the championship. And where are we at for round 3? So make sure of that. We are at Monaco. Alright. Going to Monaco. Interesting. Alright, well, take care, everybody. Thank you for watching, and we will see you round 3 of the championship at Circuit de Monaco for the Monaco Grand Prix. Take care and goodbye.